Even when inflation generally climbed to 8%, the central bank continues to lower its central bank rate, now reaching 10%, the lowest it has ever been, as earlier easing of the rate did not significantly help to attract and increase private sector borrowing.
With the domestic inflationary pressures remaining subdued and given the continued weak prospects for economic growth, the Bank of Uganda judges that continued easing of monetary policy is appropriate.
So banks are expected to follow by continuing to lower interest rates, with the lowest known rate for borrowers at about 19%.
The loans that have been growing are personal loans of recent, and to some extent we have started also seeing loans to trade picking up. Loans to manufacturing, loans to mortgage, and other business services are still declining, which means that actually banks are still slightly shy in giving credit to some of the sectors they believe that are relatively risky.
So the banks are not in the mood of lending to everybody else, especially businesses. But there's an underlying factor that is giving banks this complacency.
If the government is borrowing risk-free in the range of 15-17, it automatically means that yes, banks will prefer the government.
The central bank rate is now at 10%, the lowest ever. And that is designed to encourage economic growth through the banks lowering their lending rate and you going to the banks to borrow. But that faces two challenges. One, because government is borrowing where you are supposed to borrow. So the banks generally prefer the government. And number two, the bank's preference on lending. They also prefer more salaried loans, according to latest numbers, to those borrowing money to put in businesses. So unless those variables change, the impact of the central bank action to reduce the central bank rate of late might not deliver the desired effects. Samuel Setumba, NTV.